Hello and welcome to another Jeremy's Yorkshire allotment adventures from what is a very hot allotment. But sit back, relax and enjoy today's show. Well, here I am next to my purple sprouts, and these are the ones uncovered outdoors, and well, they look ravaged. They've been eaten, the caterpillars have been on them. If you give them a shake, white insects fly off them, and well, they're just home to everything. But what's interesting is the sprouts are starting to come, and at the moment they don't look as though they are affected by the insects that are on here breeding, and they're coming on really well. They don't get watered that often actually. They were watered early on to make sure the roots went deep, and I don't water them, maybe once a week if that at the moment, and they're producing their sprouts. What means is which their root system is really deep into the ground, and that's luckily how my plants here are going to survive the drought conditions that are here across the country, and are only set to get a little bit worse, I'm afraid, in the coming weeks. But this is a success story, if I could speak. Success story. What a mouthful. Here I am inside one of the covered frames, and this is where I've been growing all my beetroot down this side. And today I've picked my beetroot. Mine are just the old-fashioned normal round ones, but if we pop across to Sheffield to Mary, you've just had a horde of your own beetroots, but you've described yours as oblong ones, and here's a few photographs. And there's numerous things we can make with beetroots, and a lot of it of course has to do with cooking. Of course you can use them as dyes and all sorts of things, but as you find out when you use them, you get red all over your fingers and they die for a few days. But what you've made is, and it looks delicious, is a risotto. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely stunning, and I bet it tastes absolutely amazing. So congratulations to you, Mary, on that achievement. Brilliant. I've been looking into actually what to do with my beetroots. I've picked lots and I've needed to get some pickling vinegar. Well, actually, a friend has given me an old recipe of his grandma's, and actually it's not really a recipe, I suppose, as such. All she swears by is malt vinegar, so the brown malt vinegar, and a little bit of well, light brown sugar. And basically, if you heat the vinegar up a little bit, put the sugar in, make sure it's all nicely dissolved, and then once you've chopped up your beetroots and put it into your jars, you can fill it up then. And obviously as it goes cooler, leave the lids off until it's cool enough, you can pop it in the fridge then, and it will last for weeks, months, in fact, maybe years inside those jars. They recommend actually, once you start pickling your beetroots, is not to open the jars for 2 or 3 weeks, to let it infuse and all those lovely flavours from the vinegars. Of course you can get seasoning and spices in there if you want to as well, and but what I like about it, I'm going to have a go, is using beetroot in cakes. Yes, in cakes. Isn't that exciting? And basically what you have to do is you chop your beetroot once you've cooked it, of course, chop it up, stick it in a blender, and when you make your utilising, you have to really blend it well, and so it becomes like a puree almost, and then you add that to your cake mix, and that gives it a really nice, apparently, it has sort of a sweetness, a sugariness to the cake. I've had cakes, but I've never made my own. Might have a go, and I'll show you the results in the coming weeks here on the Allotment Show. Now, speaking of allotments, let's pop across to Wakefield, shall we, while we sat in the beautiful, glorious sunshine, and look at Darren, Ali and Joseph. Now, Darren, you've been working extremely hard in this heat as well. I mean, it's unbelievable what you've achieved, and we know you've had terrible trouble with roots coming through and still coming through. And look at this picture. This is one of the brambles that came through the side of your allotment, and you've finally got to the root and you've dug it up. But I always say, look at how deep the roots are, how thick they are. They've obviously been there for some time and well established, but you're doing the ground back-breaking work of getting rid of them all as much as you can, and that will really help. Because as you can see from this picture, that little bit of greenery is all you can see compared to the other picture of all down below, a bit like an iceberg, isn't it? You see the top half, but there's lots more below ground, and well, you're doing really well. You're clearing lots of spaces, which is brilliant, and ready to be, of course, extra manured over the Christmas winter period into next year, when you can start sowing for good. But your shed is on its way. You're building a shed right from scratch, And look at this framing, it's constructed beautifully. Such an amazing achievement, Darren, and thank you very much for sending in your photographs, and Mary for sending your photographs. And don't forget that you can also send in your photographs. Either leave it in the comment section of the videos on YouTube, or send it to jezgrows@outlook.com and they'll get to me. It'd be fantastic to see more of pictures from, well, all of my viewers out there. Well, I hope you're having successes on your gardening, wherever you are, on a balcony, in the allotment, back garden. It doesn't matter where you are, you can always sow and grow things in the next year. So come on, join in with the fun. Look what's happening. My roses are coming back. I deadheaded them all, chopped them down a little bit, and even the yellow ones, and we've got some pink ones coming through too, so that's really exciting. Not so sure about what that is, I will get rid of that soon. And also my other raspberries not doing that well. However, it's almost time now to transplant my winter cabbages, and hopefully they're ready for Christmas Day. I have also got some winter beetroots here, and they're going to go in side by side. It's really exciting. It's not too late, you know. I know some garden centres now are having and started putting out their winter crops for you to buy. So even if you've not grown them from seed like I have, you can still get them here for about, I don't know, £2 or £3 a tray. You might get 10 plants in that. So it's not too bad if you've nowhere, but don't forget you can grow them in pots, anything. You don't need a big allotment like I've got here. These are going to go in the growing frame I've just been sat in, where my beetroots were. I've put some new soil in there, and what I did before, I've double watered, so I've watered underneath to make sure that the ground below, I mean right below, is saturated and wet, and they've come out of my water butts, so rainwater. Now, it may possibly have some chance of rain over the next week, so get your buckets ready, get your drain pipes ready, get anything you can together to catch that water, because it's going to be so vital. Even a bucketful will go a long, long way if used correctly. So yes, I'm going to get these cabbages into that little growing area, and my beetroot too. So, once again, thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. It's great to have you on board. Keep safe in this hot weather, and well, I'll see you shortly here. Ta-ra for now.